I felt like my life was turned upside down. I confronted Dorothy, and after many tears and arguments, she admitted that she had cheated on me around the time Barbara was conceived. I was devastated. The little girl I had raised and loved turned out not to be mine. It felt like my entire life with Dorothy had been a lie. I couldn't see Barbara the same way, knowing that her biological father was someone else. So, I decided to leave. I packed my things and moved out, leaving Dorothy and Barbara behind. Since then, Dorothy, her friends, and even some of my family have accused me of abandoning my daughter. They say that biology doesn't matter, that I raised her, and she sees me as her father. They blame me for being cruel and heartless for leaving. I receive messages and calls almost daily, condemning my decision. It's been tough. I feel guilty because I know Barbara doesn't understand why I'm no longer around. But at the same time, I can't shake the feeling of betrayal and the constant reminder that she's not mine. I don't know how to be around her without feeling like a fraud. I didn't agree to raise another man's child, especially without my knowledge. Barbara is 5 years old now. So, Reddit, was I wrong to leave? Should I have stayed in Barbara's life despite everything, or did I do the right thing by walking away? Reply, if you're listed on the birth certificate, avoid doing anything that could put you at legal or financial risk. I have a lawyer working on getting me removed from the birth certificate. Question: does she know who Barbara's real father is? It might be better to involve the biological father if he's not willing to pay child support, and she may end up being a single mother anyway. Reply: don't blame yourself. Author's response: she only feels bad because she lost my support, and maybe her reputation. I'm not sure if she knows or not. I brought up the topic, and she claims she doesn't know, but I don't really believe her. Comment: how can she not know? Either it's another man, if she knows his name, or she was being promiscuous at the time. Another comment: exactly. Personally, I'm shocked that everyone's blaming the author without acknowledging that all of this is happening because of her cheating and behavior. You're not obligated to stay and raise a child conceived from her infidelity, and she should face the consequences of her actions. Some people are just outrageous. Comment: I'm surprised that no one in your circle is concerned about how you feel. This must have been incredibly emotional and traumatic for you to learn the truth after so many years. They're only blaming you in relation to the little girl. Yes, children don't understand adult issues, but you need time to process this shocking news. It's okay to take a step back and figure out what you want to do next. Comment: you can stay in the little girl's life if you want to. But first, you need to find emotional support through all of this. You're not the jerk. Next story. Am I the jerk for just saying okay when my girlfriend broke up with me over my parenting method with my daughter? I'm 35 years old. I have 3 kids, and my ex-girlfriend, who is 27, has 1 child. We recently broke up after almost 4 years of being together. I own my home, and she rents, but she stayed with me every weekend and all summer. I thought we were solid, but now I realize that wasn't the case. Our parenting styles were very different. She believed that punishment wasn't necessary, and that you just need to understand the child's heart. I believe that if a child does something wrong, they should be punished. Her child was completely out of control. She was rude to her mother and my children, would hit and kick her mother when she didn't get what she wanted, screamed, "I hate you," and shut up, and threw tantrums in public and private places until her mother bought her what she wanted. Towards the end of our relationship, I would leave with my kids because it was embarrassing. My ex would calm her daughter by hugging her while she screamed, "Get off," and hit her in the stomach and face. My ex would say that her daughter just didn't know how to calm down and that she had a kind heart because she just wanted something. Or it wasn't her fault but mine because I spoiled her by buying everything she demanded. This frustrated me. Her daughter is 6 years old, and my kids are all under 10. I told her that this behavior was unacceptable because it might show up at school. She replied that it wouldn't happen at school, and I left it at that. However, I'm sure that it won't work. Moreover, this teaches her to get her way through aggression, which could lead her to problems as she grows up. My eldest daughter has mental health issues, and I'm working with her therapist to help her. Unfortunately, she tends to steal, lie, and have other issues, but she excels in school. I thought about how you treat your eldest daughter and decided that maybe we should break up. She already said I was too strict. For example, during a mild winter, her daughter was walking and stomping on the frozen pond in my yard. I warned her not to do that because it was very dangerous. I didn't yell or get angry, just worried about her safety, but my ex thought it was too strict. When I asked why she thought that, her response was something like, "Kids need to experiment." I was stunned and wanted to ask, "Experiment with life?" After her words about the breakup, I, just waking up, said, "Okay." She asked me to share my thoughts, and I said that our parenting styles were very different, and it seems that's just the way it is. I asked for the keys to my house back. She also said that she loved me and hoped we could still talk, to which I replied, "No." I went back to bed after I got my things and saw that she had left. I felt like she expected me to fight harder for the relationship because she looked disappointed when she left. Although I still cared about her, I started thinking about her actions. First, she refused to work, saying that maybe in 10 years she'd be ready. I explained to her that I couldn't financially support 2 more people. She was used to living on benefits and child support and didn't want to work in an office. Second, she didn't help with cleaning. Her house was in chaos, and she constantly said she needed to learn to clean. But that job always fell on me and my kids. Her child would throw a tantrum when I asked her to help clean up her things. Third, she hit me twice while drunk. She admitted that she had a drinking problem, and I threw out all the alcohol from the house after the second incident a few months ago. Looking back, I realized that our relationship was unhealthy. I apologized to my kids for letting all this happen. I discussed my concerns with my parents, and they said that punishing your child for bad behavior is normal. They also pointed out that she wasn't the right person for me. I'm open to hearing other opinions, but I know that physical violence is unacceptable, and I told her that. She was very apologetic, but it still made me uneasy. Comment: You're not the jerk. Different parenting styles can sometimes clash, but ignoring serious behavioral issues isn't the answer. Your concerns about your ex's methods are valid. It seems like you had problems deeper than just disciplinary issues. Trust your instincts and focus on what's best for you and your kids. Author's reply: Thank you. My problem was that because of my feelings for her, I didn't notice the obvious red flags until it was all over. I tried to help with her daughter's behavioral issues, but now I intend to use this time to focus on myself and my kids. Comment: She was probably good in bed if you put up with someone who doesn't work, doesn't clean, and raises a child with terrible behavior. Your kids should be your priority. Her priorities were different. Her ideology, and apparently her ego came first. Despite the failures, she kept sticking to her beliefs. You're not the jerk. She sounds like a loser and a bad parent. Another comment. From your description, she sounds like a disaster. Maybe she was charming or attractive. It's hard to imagine other reasons for getting involved with someone who doesn't work, doesn't take care of herself, is abusive to others, and raises a child who's going to cause problems at school. Authors reply, I think I ignored the red flags because we had a lot in common. We talked a lot, did sports, went hiking, and watched the same shows. I thought the problems were minor and could be fixed later, but I was wrong. That was selfish because it affected my kids. Did I do wrong by not installing safety devices in our new home for my nephew? Our old house was fully child-proofed. In the new house, we didn't install safety devices, believing that our daughter is old enough now. A few weeks ago, my family came to visit, and my sister had to constantly keep an eye on her son. He has developmental delays, and he gets into everything. She later said that she'll only come back after we install safety devices. We said we're not going to install them since our daughter doesn't need them. The family offered to pay for them, but we find that uncomfortable. We like the way our house looks, and we don't want to change anything. We were called mean for not accommodating her child. Our house has always been the place for gatherings, and we love hosting events. I think my sister could be more attentive to her son. She says it's difficult to constantly watch him, and claims that we've taken away one of the few safe places she has. She didn't come to the Memorial Day barbecue, which also meant her daughter couldn't come. And now, we're to blame for her not being able to attend family events. Comment. I wouldn't bother with it. I did this for my sister's kids. It's expensive and inconvenient. My sister and her husband thought they didn't need to watch their kids, and a bunch of things ended up broken anyway. You're 100% not the jerk. Another comment. I have a 3-year-old and can't wait to get rid of those devices. I recently brought him to my parents' house, which is full of fragile items. I would never ask them to child-proof their home for my kid. The world isn't child-proofed, and it's my job to watch my child. I understand that it's difficult with a child with special needs, but that's not an excuse. Comment. I have 11-month-old twins, and they get into everything. My in-laws aren't happy that we don't visit often, but I spend every visit watching them. Still, I would never ask them to child-proof their house. It's crazy. Another comment. You're not the jerk. It's logical that kids at that age require attention, and people should understand that.